Hello, Steelers fans. Get ready to get your hearts pumping because Monday started off hot behind the scenes. I'm going to get straight to the point so as not to waste time. You know that Omar Khan is doing everything he can to put together a quality team for next season, and some names have been the subject of much discussion in recent days. The Super Bowl is a very distant goal for most fans, but I also know that many believe that we will still see our Steelers win this important title. And why not this season? Dude, seriously, I believe we can get there. If the Eagles did it, we can do it too. If you really want that too, hit the like button hard. If possible, write something like, "Go Steelers, I believe in you." Now, let's talk about the present. Rumors are circulating about possible successful moves that could transform the Steelers from a respected competitor into a feared giant. And yes, I'm talking about names like Jalen Ramsey and Amari Cooper. This isn't just talk. This isn't just clickbait. The idea that Pittsburgh could be in the running for players of this caliber isn't as far-fetched as some might think. But here's the thing, nothing will happen until one thing happens, TJ Watt's contract extension. Word in the community is that Omar Khan is holding the cards close to his chest, waiting to see how the Watt extension shakes out before pulling the trigger on any major deals. And make no mistake, this isn't about affordability. The Steelers have room to maneuver. Even after acquiring a player like Ramsey, they'd still have the flexibility to sign a high-impact wide receiver. We're talking about a team with cap space sitting around $18.8 million. That's not pennies. The truth is, this roster is quietly becoming one of the deepest we've seen in years. The defense? Locked and loaded. Some are calling it the best pass rush unit in the NFL, period. With TJ Watt already anchoring that unit, adding a lockdown corner like Ramsey could transform this defense into a generational force. And let's not overlook the back end, with guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick, Deshaun Elliott, and Juan Thornhill solidifying a lethal three-safety package. You throw Ramsey into that secondary and this unit becomes downright terrifying. Now let's switch gears for a moment, because the offense is where the biggest questions still hang in the air. Aaron Rodgers. That's right. Let that sink in for a moment. After all the waiting, all the talk, and all the speculation, the four-time MVP is officially QB1 in the black and gold. And it's not just about his name or resume. It's what he brings in leadership, IQ, and command of the field. And yes, there's already talk about his influence in training camp, exploiting the defense's soft spots and forcing the coaching staff to evolve. That's not something you get from just any quarterback. And what about the new weapons? Well, here's where it gets interesting. Roman Wilson, the rookie wideout with Randall Cobb-like qualities, is one of the biggest wild cards on this team. There's no solid NFL tape on him yet, so everything we're hearing is based on potential. But if anyone can unlock that potential, it's Rodgers, especially with Wilson's play style fitting right into the quarterback's historical preference for crafty slot receivers. Still, it's no guarantee. That's why you're hearing buzz about the Steelers possibly bringing in one more big-name wide receiver, maybe Amari Cooper, maybe someone else. And don't sleep on the Keenan Allen whispers either. He may not love the idea of playing in Pittsburgh, but Rodgers' presence has clearly piqued his interest. You never know in the NFL. Money talks. Winning talks louder. The real question here is whether the Steelers are content to go into the season with a promising rookie and a patchwork receiving core, or if they're ready to go all in and give Rodgers a full arsenal. Because with Rodgers under center, anything less than a Super Bowl run is a missed opportunity. And the strategy from the front office? It's crystal clear. Build a well-rounded, elite team. Don't lean entirely on a superstar quarterback. Build the kind of roster that wins with defense, a punishing run game, and timely throws. Think Eagles from last year. It's a blueprint that Pittsburgh looks ready to replicate. So what do you think, Steelers Nation? Is it time to go all in? Are Ramsey and Cooper the missing pieces to this championship puzzle? Or should the team double down on the young talent already in place? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're fired up for what's shaping up to be one of the most pivotal seasons in recent Steelers history. Starting with the secondary, the potential addition of Jalen Ramsey isn't just about name value, it's about strategic dominance. With Joey Porter Jr. already rising as a breakout star and Darius Slay quietly adding veteran leadership and grit, bringing in Ramsey would allow this unit to operate with a level of versatility that most defensive coordinators only dream about. In nickel formations, where most of today's snaps are played, having Slay, Porter, and Ramsey all on the field together would make Pittsburgh's coverage schemes elite. Imagine Ramsey handling the slot or tight ends, while Slay and Porter lock down the boundaries. There would be nowhere for opposing quarterbacks to go with the ball. And let's not forget, even if the defense gets even stronger, the strategy still hinges on the offensive line. That group, as it stands, is the X factor for this entire season. Zach Frazier, the young center, is being talked about as a Pro Bowl candidate already. That's high praise, and if he lives up to it, He'll be the cornerstone of an O-line that desperately needs stability. If this line can hold up and stay healthy, Aaron Rodgers will have the time he needs to work his magic. If it crumbles, the dream dies there. No sugarcoating that. It's no secret that the Steelers have had one of the worst-ranked offenses in recent seasons, despite boasting solid defenses year after year. That's why this year feels different. The front office isn't waiting for a miracle. They're actively building the kind of offense that can actually complement their top-tier defense. The hope is that Rodgers won't have to play hero ball. He can manage the game, execute the system, and when needed, strike with precision, especially if he has reliable targets. Which brings us right back to the wide receiver situation. The Steelers are still evaluating their options. Amari Cooper would be an ideal fit for Rodgers' style. He's physical, experienced, and knows how to work the boundary. He'd instantly elevate this receiving core and likely become WR1 overnight. Keenan Allen, while less likely due to his lukewarm feelings about the city, is still in play because he's intrigued by Rodgers. And make no mistake, Aaron Rodgers is the magnet here. He's not just drawing interest from fans, he's opening the door to players who may have never considered Pittsburgh before. There's also something brewing with Tyreek Hill and Ramsey, and while a package deal sounds like fantasy, insiders haven't dismissed it outright. The more realistic path would be acquiring Ramsey first and monitoring Hill's situation separately. Still, it speaks volumes about Pittsburgh's ambition this offseason. They aren't thinking small. And speaking of bold moves, don't overlook the possibility of Jonnu Smith coming in to add another layer to the tight end room. Pat Freiermuth has been solid, but imagine a two tight end set with Rodgers orchestrating. It would be a nightmare for defensive coordinators, especially if the run game starts to cook behind a revitalized defensive line. Now let's address what some national voices are saying, specifically ESPN's Dan Orlovsky. While he gives Pittsburgh a playoff nod, he doesn't believe the offense has enough juice to contend deep into January. That's a fair critique, but it's rooted in past performance. What's happening now is a clear pivot in team philosophy, and if young players like Broderick Jones and Calvin Austin III step up, the ceiling suddenly shoots way higher than what outsiders are projecting. And here's where it gets even more layered, TJ Watt's extension. Fans are wondering if that deal is holding up these big acquisitions. But here's the reality, Watt's extension won't impact this year's cap. So Omar Khan has the green light to make moves right now. It's not a question of if they can afford it, it's about when and who. That's why these next few weeks are critical. Don't be shocked if a major move drops right before training camp. The groundwork is there. Let's close on one final bombshell. This season is make or break in more ways than one. If the offensive line fails, everything falls apart. If Rodgers goes down, the team is left relying on improving backups. But if this team stays healthy, if Rodgers finds chemistry, and if Omar Khan pulls off just one more strategic signing, this could be a magical year in the Steel City. So don't look away, Steelers Nation. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like. This channel will keep bringing you the inside scoops, the heated debates, and the game-changing updates as they unfold. We've got more breaking news on the way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.